Is the sound working okay? Okay, you set to go.
I was gonna hold you off till the end of the meeting, but we're gonna do it earlier than that, so you're here in time, you're in good shape. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, it's 6:03, November 12th, Commissioners Meeting, roll call, Mark Johansson. Mark Johansson's here?
Bob Long's here.
Eric Cassidy's here.
Super. Okay, approval of minutes, Commissioners Meeting, March 13th, June 17th, September 10th, and October 10th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for getting us caught up. District business, approval of manifest from October 10th, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Review of district financial report and water collection report.
It's recording.
Just double checking.
I know we haven't had the financials in a bit, and there are still some errors on here. If you look down, it shows 23,000, 22,000, something on payroll, and that was just categorized incorrectly. And some of the other things, we have to do some transfers from the water to the general ops, and that's normal transfers. And some of the other stuff, we've got, I showed you what we had in capital reserve a couple of meetings ago, and maybe it was the last meeting, I'm not sure. But we've got to get some money out of that to recoup some of the work that we've done here. So the financials, from my perspective, I'm looking too bad. There are some errors on there, but we're gonna get those right. Any questions on the financials?
I just have one on the water collection report. Susan, do we have any issues you need to discuss in the water collection? I don't see it here in the packet.
Water collection's about 7,800. One bill just recently went out. They got hooked up this spring, early summer, and somehow it was missed.
Okay.
The guy came in for another reason, and I said, you're not in our water system. I said, are you getting water? And he's like, yes, I am. I said, well, I guess you need a water bill.
Okay.
But yeah.
Overall,
In terms of overall, we're pretty well caught up.
Overall, we're caught up. Everybody that's been overdue has been contacted. There are payment arrangements made for ones that were delinquent. There's a couple of liens that were placed. And that's it. And the balance is roughly 7,800, which is due.
Okay, super, great, thank you.
Statements went out last week to people as well.
Okay. Review Bath water fees. We have a gentleman with us tonight, Mr. Robert Duquette. He's from the town of Bath, and he would like to discuss the manner in which we charge Bath their water fees on our annual water collection system. And I guess we want to hear from you, Robert, what your issue is particularly, and then we'll deal with it.
Yep.
The issue is in 2000.
Speak as much as you can, we gotta get into that camera's microphone. Speak loud.
What's that?
Speak as loud as you can. Okay.
My issue is in 2014, Mountain Lakes District and Bath entered an agreement. Agreement would allow Mountain Lakes to increase the basic fees. And in order to compensate Bath for allowing that possibility, it is not filing complaints with the Public Utilities Commission. The Bath water fees, the surcharge, would reduce, which would offset the increase in the basic water fees. I monitored those costs, to ensure that it was true, that the agreement, based on the agreement, that Bath would not incur any additional charges because of the basic fee increases. I did that starting in 2015, and it worked pretty good until 2020, at which time, the water fees, the basic, basic fee increases had increased, so rapidly that the surcharge decreases, the offsets, were no longer valid. And at that point in time, Bath started paying, well, in 2021, Bath would start paying more for water than it would have if the agreement had not been signed.
What agreement are you referring to there?
I'm sorry,
What agreement are you referring to?
the agreement signed in, the agreement agreed to in 2014.
Do we have a copy of that agreement?
I have no recollection of that, I have no copy of it, I wasn't involved in it.
We had in 2014, we had a three-way conversation, myself, Amy Baker, and yourself. You were well aware of what was going on and what the agreement was about.
Okay, and if you look at the numbers from that time, and there's nothing in writing on this agreement. And you've said in all your correspondence that if the agreement was made between you and Amy and Christie, I don't recall being involved in any of those discussions back in 2014.
So what are you saying? You're saying,
If you look at the numbers
are you
since
saying
that
that
time,
you're saying that Amy Baker was not authorized to enter an agreement?
technically, no.
It would have to have been agreed to by the commissioners, and you'd have to sign, we'd have to have a signed document
But
somewhere.
you were aware.
Bob, you're talking 10 years ago, and I'm not sure what changes were made, but I know there were some changes made, because if you look at the numbers, your numbers have gone down since that time, they haven't gone up.
What numbers are you talking about?
The fee
That has
that you,
nothing to do with the agreement. I'm talking about the agreement, you're talking about something totally
Do
different.
you have the agreement somewhere that I can review? I did not see it. I did not see this agreement.
we've asked him for that agreement before, and he doesn't have it.
We don't have an agreement.
Question, I got a question here. We have a formula generated, to my understanding, by the PUC,
Correct.
two-page formula that we've been using for the last, at least as long as I've been here, 6 or 7 years. And you've been, since we've been instituted, and that's the formula that we have been following as per the PUC. Now, is there some other, if there's some other agreement between you and someone in this district who was authorized to sign something, we wanna see that document, and we'll deal with it. But until that point, we can't change anything to override what the PUC has unless there's a signed agreement between us. We didn't know if that's agreeable as per PUC regulations.
Let me ask you a question, Ben. In 2015, when costs moved from, what the PUC had referred to as, restricted costs, you moved them from that formula that you're referring to, and you moved them to the water budget. Did anybody say, hey, how come these costs are now, what are they doing in here? Nobody asked, huh? That is the proof that the agreement exists. Why didn't you say something then? Why didn't you say, they shouldn't be in there?
What your concern is that you don't want any more increases to our rate in water.
What's that?
What is the ask? Yeah, what is the ask? What do we?
What do you wanna accomplish with this meeting, and what do you wanna get agreed to?
I submitted a proposal,
Okay, we see that.
okay,
You said a basic fee of $787,
starting.
starting at 787. Now, starting at 787, what do you propose? Because our costs go up based on infrastructure requirements we have to do with our water system, improvements in our water system, other things, increase in fees from our Woodsville Water and Light. So we can't stick to a particular dollar amount for perpetuity. So if we say we take 787 as a base,
It was a 5-year agreement, so it isn't into perpetuity. It's a 5-year agreement, right? I make that proposal because we had a meeting and you had suggested that we've got to find an easier way to calculate the surcharge. And that, made a proposal, I didn't see anything from you guys, right, saying, well, we have another idea, we'll talk about it. No, you keep your mouth shut and then come to this meeting like you don't even know anything.
We know plenty about you, we're asking for a document that you supposedly signed and we agreed to.
And I'm saying, the document is that in 2015, you moved costs, restricted costs to the water budget.
Why,
So-
And you benefited from that, correct?
What?
You benefited from that.
No, there was no benefit for Bath, it was just an offset so that we wouldn't be harmed by the basic fee increases that you had planned to implement.
Okay, when we have cost increases, we have to pass them along to all of our
And that
customers.
isn't what I'm talking about the agreement.
There's no agreement, and you said that I was involved in that, in all your emails,
Let me ask you a
I don't
question then.
recall being involved in
Yeah, let
that.
me ask
And
you
if there
one
was if there was a change in the thing, it would have been documented and it would have been signed by the commissioners.
There are a lot of agreements that are not documented. They're a gentleman's agreement, a handshake, that's all that was.
We don't do handshakes with the community's money.
You did then,
I absolutely did not, and I wouldn't.
you mean to say Amy Baker just decided to move these costs over there, and nobody, the water committee, the commissioners, everybody looked at it, like the budget, and said, didn't even ask any questions why these costs had been moved from the restricted category to the budget?
Robert, even with that question, I'm confused why it's 9 years delayed then. It's 9 years late to ask that question, isn't it? 2015 you're talking about? I just don't understand how we're talking about this right now. I don't even know if you wanna go up or down on the fee charge or anything. I'm very confused as to what we're discussing.
The 787 that he wants to
Yeah.
start at is including the current $700 fee, and then he wants to pay $87 that. Under the PUC agreement, for the last year was $199. The year before that was $186. The year before that, $185. And you can look down that list there and you can see, it did start to go down, whatever was done back then. I don't know what they did with the costs. I had done that thing back in the beginning, I didn't do it in 2015. So I
I don't know, you say you weren't around and you weren't aware of anything, but none of you weren't around in 2014, 15. You were.
Right, I was around, yeah.
And you or no one on the water committee looked at the budget and said, geez, these costs were in here last year, well, where did they come from? It boosted the budget by, around $35,000, right? And that was to help you increase the basic fees for everyone.
That had nothing to do with, we do our water budget first, and then we do the calculations for the bath payments.
Yeah, and in that water budget, you had $35,000, at least $35,000 that had not been in your budget before. Nobody questioned that?
Well,
You know, you're going back 10
Yeah.
years here, Bob.
We gotta be in the present. The only thing that's made sense to me so far is like, if you wanna find a new calculation going forward, if you don't like the way we're calculating bath, I thought we had a private meeting about this at one point where we said, if we wanna calculate, have a simple percentage, 11% or something like that, where we just come up with a number that we charge bath every year, and we could agree on it, I thought that's where we were trying to head to, but just to go back 9 years and argue about what the handshake deal made, it doesn't matter, there's two new commissioners, so. If we, I don't know how to resolve this right now, except to say,
Well,
I'm gonna make a recommendation that
Well,
we stay with the PUC agreement.
not going back 9 years, right? Amy Baker, back in 2021, when I saw that, looking at my spreadsheet, right, I'm looking at the offsets, the fee increases, was not keeping up with the fee increases, right? I mentioned it to Amy Baker in 2021 and 2022. And even in the last year, I mentioned to you, Bob, in 2024, about this problem.
Well, that's why we're here, that's why we're here now. What we wanted to do, what we thought you wanted to do, was eliminate that two-page formula that we were using from the PUC.
My proposal does that.
But you don't have a percentage increase you would like to see us do for you, unless you wanna take 787.
Well, look at you just look at the damn spreadsheet, you look at all the whole thing.
Well, I mean, spreadsheet.
We've gone through that, you've talked to us about that before. The logic just isn't there, because if you look at these numbers, you look at your, right here, from, 15, you're $4 less than the year before. You're $3 plus here, you're $5 plus here, -4 here, -1 here, -26 here, $1 increase here, and a $13 increase here. So I don't understand where you're coming
How
from.
many times do I have to tell you guys? I've met you how many times and tell me it's about the agreement, and you always go back to that stupid thing.
But if you can't
That
show us
tells
an
the
agreement,
logic.
how are we supposed to honor an agreement that you can't provide us?
What?
How am I supposed to honor an agreement with you that I can't read or see?
I'm sorry, my.
Yeah, I understand. How am I supposed to honor an agreement with you if you don't have a document to prove to me there's an agreement in
The
place?
proof is in the fact that you moved the cost.
I don't consider that proof.
What?
That's not proof. I need a document to know there's some kind of, if you.
Alright,
I'm gonna make a motion that we continue with the PUC agreement as we have in the past, because if we went on a percentage thing, you really gotta make some calculations and put in for COLA,
Yeah.
cost of living increases and stuff like that. This thing has been in effect for a lot of years now, and I think we just continue using the PUC agreement.
Robert, if you wanna put a claim into the PUC or a complaint, feel free to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, because they established the formula that we're using now. And, if you want to complain, let them know.
my concern isn't with the formula, I know the formula better than you do.
You probably do. But the formula is what we're using, and you're saying that it doesn't agree with your
I'm talking
numbers.
about the agreement, and you say it doesn't exist, okay, fine. I guess the only thing to do is to take it up with PUC,
You're gonna have to. Okay, Robert, thank you.
and you aren't gonna win, and not gonna win, because it's just a waste of time.
Okay, thanks for
Thanks,
coming.
Robert, thank you.
Alright, so I get the motion on the table that we
Okay.
continue to use PUC.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? We're set to go, okay. PUC rules. Okay, 2025 budget process. As some of you may or may not know, we have a budget committee that sits down usually every November, December to put together the budget for the next year. Suggestions, which are then presented to the commissioners in January. So the budget process will be basically starting fairly soon with Seth Cassidy as our treasurer running meetings. I guess I'll ask right now if any volunteers to be on that committee. Okay?
Commissioner, anything on that?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mark,
So you wanna be on it?
I probably should be on it.
Probably should be
Yeah.
somehow involved with
She's,
it.
Yeah.
she's.
I'm the number
she's-
pusher.
She's an administrator for it,
Yeah.
she's not, you're not a member, you're an administrator for
Do you
So
wanna
should
try
I
to
be
set
on the
you
meet-
the-
on-
it. You,
Yeah.
would
Should I
be.
Could I
participate?
have your name, ma'am, please?
Lisa Edwards.
Lisa Edwards?
Yep.
You can certainly be here to take minutes. Anybody else out there wanted to be part of this committee? Okay, I'm gonna be on it. And that may just discourage me not to wanna be on it.
We'll get an email out, soon, but for now, November 26th, December 10th, December 30th.
Oh. Are those dates for the,
These are preliminary meeting dates.
can you
that we were
please,
Sure.
recount
I
them?
think we'll need more than three.
I understand, but.
Five.
Gonna need five at least, yeah.
Correct, right, but.
11/26.
November 26th,
Alright, where are these dates coming from, and what's the time of them, and,
4:30 PM on Tuesdays, November 26th, December 10th.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
26.
The schedule is usually made when you get the group together,
Oh,
and,
Yeah.
sorry, I was
What-
just trying to
what-
get this rolling because of the email I saw.
Sure, no, absolutely. I would like to have had Seth available, cause he,
Well, I was
I
I
would-
this available.
right, and that, I would propose that at the first meeting,
Oh, okay,
and, yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
alright,
we-
so,
tell what we could do. We could meet probably, if Seth is agreeable to 26th
yeah,
at 4:30,
yeah,
whatever. That'd be a good start off, but I think the rest of the meetings,
we can plan on.
would have to, and, well, we should get her sooner than that, but let's do that then, okay. Unless, I'll be here, will you be here with that?
What day is that?
That's a Tuesday.
Before Thanksgiving?
That's 2 days for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I can be here for that.
Okay, 4:30. Okay, if you'll contact Seth about that,
And then we'll
confirm
get it,
that.
we'll confirm and we'll get an email out.
Do you know, Robert, if there's any, requirements to have a certain number of people on this committee? There's really no RSA requirement?
No, we've got several people, Tom Mangle, Chris
Fine, okay,
Roberts,
super. Yeah, Chris may or may not be able to do it because of that.
right,
Rodebush usually does.
I'll contact Robert.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so anyway, we'll set it up for November 26th at 4:30, but we'll probably need then probably at least 3, if not 4 meetings in December, which I hate to do, but we're starting so late here.
Mark,
Yes,
You got all-
Seth Cassidy is part of our Zoom participants.
oh, he's in now?
We don't need to put him on the spot.
We're not putting him on the spot, he's
That's
just,
fine.
he's in.
Okay, thank you. Well, you follow up with him, okay?
Hi, Seth.
Hello, I can hear you all.
Okay,
Good.
as long as you are here, is the 26th at 4:30 a good time for you?
Yeah, I gave Eric a list of dates today to try to just
Okay.
summarize what would work. I'm happy to add more dates in December if that's needed, and I didn't know when your deadline was going to be for January, so I didn't know how quickly we had to cram them all in.
Okay, Seth, thank you. We'll be in touch. We'll get together and hammer all that out on the 26th, okay?
That works for me, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
The 26th is good because, and I know you'd like to do it sooner, but I've still gotta pull all the documentation together.
I know, and that's
all
why,
that
I know
stuff,
it's,
and, I'll be starting on that tomorrow.
I know, I know, I know, it's a process. Okay, so, that's the only date we know of at this time. Anybody in this room wants to, feel free, wants to volunteer for that, as it comes closer, feel free to volunteer. Okay? Maintenance update. Where's yours at? Right there? Right there? Oh, you got an update written? Sorry. Okay.
Alright, maintenance update, the asset management program, we're starting to wind down with that, we've got a meeting coming up with, Abby from Edgewater, and, to complete some of the things that they've been working on as far as the mapping and things like that. So that's winding down, and, it's been about a year, and, that's what it was, scheduled to run for. John is working on,
Has she set a date for that yet?
for the meeting?
Yeah, for her meeting with you guys?
No, because she's waiting for some information,
Okay.
from us.
Okay.
The seasonal shut-offs and reconnects, John is working on those, he's getting quite a few calls on those now. The Chambers direct line, we talked about that we had a potential leak with that. We've had it pressure tested, and it's fine, there's no leaks in this, there's no problem with that. It's just it's a pressurized thing that's coming back down, and, but there are no leaks in it. Oh, the lead and copper revision, and the letters went out, and, that was a mandatory letter by the state, or it's actually from the federal government, what they mandated that we send that out. We're behind on the original one where we sent out, where we asked people to take a picture of or do the scan code and, follow the procedures on that, and we're way behind on that. And that's the reason that they required us to send this other letter out. And, we've got, at our next water committee meeting, did he talk to you about that, Ed? We've got somebody from the, state that's gonna begin and come in and walk us through that whole process, because it's unbelievable what they want, to have done with that. Ken, you had a question?
Does it help to tell you that mine's copper coming in from the street?
I
Do I have to
did,
go on that website?
You have to fill out the form, it's easy to fill out.
I looked at it, but I opened
Yeah.
the QR code, but it wouldn't take me any further than.
Was that the early QR code, cause it hasn't been
Well, that
revised?
was the one I just got in the mail.
Oh, okay.
I just got in the mail, I
It didn't
opened the
work?
QR and all it did
Yeah.
was it just
Just
showed,
PDFs of,
it's just PDF, it
Yeah.
just shows
Oh, God.
things to read
no
and that's
data
it.
input.
But I don't know if you guys have to relate back to them or not, but mine's copper, Natalie Arts is copper as well.
No, it's,
yeah,
it's all interactive.
90% of the
Should be.
homes are, probably,
Copper.
Yeah, and, it's copper, but what they're concerned with is,
Connection to it.
Solder.
The
solder,
solder in it.
yeah, lead solder and stuff like that, and, so we're just waiting to see, and, they're getting a lot of pushback, from, water systems on what their requirements are, and, so we're just gonna wait and see how it all shakes out. The
You can fly it.
storm damage from December, I am still working with FEMA, and, I don't have a Trump sign in front of my house, so I don't know why they're not paying us, so. I had to say, I shouldn't.
Grenade over the wall.
But
Does that mean you voted red?
no, it means that, I don't know what the hell is taking them, so we've got about $15,000 out, from them. And I just signed a waiver to reduce, because on where we fixed the spillway here, we raised up where the grass is by 6 inches. And they said they wanted us to, get a scientist in here to confirm what we did is the correct thing to do. And that was gonna cost us another $3,500, $4,000. And I said, she said, but, oh, you might be able to get that covered. And I just said, do you hear yourself? I mean, it's just ridiculous what the hoops they're making us go through. So hopefully with this one, we'll get it down. It'll be about 14,000 instead of 14,500. But we're working on that. A couple of doors have been replaced at the lodge. Removed a couple of doors, and a couple of the other ones have been replaced. And then they did check with the fire marshal before that was completed. The security system in the office was just upgraded. We added 2 more cameras, and now we've got a full view of everything out there. There's been some things out there that we've had some problems with identifying things, and now everything is pretty much covered. John's getting a lot of pole locates for Eversource due to they're replacing some poles, and also with all the new construction, there's a lot of new poles going in. The cable update project, John has completed all the timing, we're under the whole new system, and so that, and it seems to be working very well. You guys get on with no problems now, right?
I haven't tried it in here, but I'm not gonna worry about it, I think it's gonna work, from what I've seen.
Mailbox area, we've got the post office coming after us, saying that we need to do something, we need to add mailboxes. And one of the considerations we're looking at is putting something over by the lodge and have people on that side of French Pond pick up their mail over there, but that's all still in the works. but I just wanna get that out there just to,
Why would that make any difference for our cost, though? We still have to pay for the cost over there, correct?
yeah, but we're running out of room here.
But, I mean, isn't there space behind the one that's on the right-hand side from the back? There's space back there for probably another bank.
Working with John, working with them. we're looking at
Okay.
looking at the options.
Different style mailboxes that might be
They're
cheaper.
cheaper, yeah. The pool cover, I didn't check it today, but I think they were coming to put it on today. There was a lot of problems with the pool cover. We ordered a new one, it was damaged, they sent it back, sent a new one, it was damaged. So now they came today to put on the old, pool cover on there, so.
Okay.
That's maintenance update. Any questions? Any
And the
questions
truck is
on Zoom?
repaired and usable now.
The truck is repaired and usable now, yes.
Yay.
Question,
Thanks, Bob. Water committee?
Go ahead, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
We have someone
Bill?
from Zoom.
Bill, go ahead.
you were talking about the plumbing as to the information required, and you have to send out another letter. Would it be worthwhile to send a listing of the ones that have already completed the project? Because I know I took the picture, but I have no idea if it's in a black hole or you got it.
John has got a list of all the ones that he's got, we're just gonna follow the state's lead and do that, because I don't think we're gonna have to send another letter out. The only thing I know that I did read is that we will have to send a letter out every year, once a year, to those that haven't complied with the, with that initial thing. So we're hoping to get that done before we have to send out letters, and
But-
we're looking at different options on how to get that done.
Bill,
But
right
I'm
now,
sure-
we don't have that many people that have responded relative to the number of people in the district.
But my question is, I don't know if you got mine. I sent it in, so I don't know.
All right, Bill, John has got a list of them, and he's keeping track of that. I don't have the list right in front of me, but if you did send it in, you sent it in via the state site?
Oh, yeah, I answered it back in July when I was there.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, so we probably have that information. It's probably on the site.
Okay,
if we don't have, we'll let you know,
okay,
okay?
thank you.
Is that it?
Any other questions? That's it.
No other questions? Ed, water committee.
Okay, the water committee met on November 6th. Those in attendance were myself, Mark Johansson, Commissioner, John Mitchell, Stuart Schreiber, and Alan Heathman, and Bob Long as a guest. We approved the meeting minutes of October 3rd. The total monthly usage for October, 961,145. 391,986 from the infiltration well. 461,526 from Woodsville Water and Light. 82,424 from Bedrock Well. Highest usage was 40,294 gallons. Lowest usage was 22,866. Average usage was 31,004. The system could account for 97.55%. The differential was 2.45%. John reported that there was no water issues for the month of October. Bob already covered the issues with the pump house to the chambers, and because of the testing, it was shown that it was just due to air in the system. The other thing that we discussed was what Bob had just discussed as far as the letters that were sent out, and basically that's all I have. Any questions?
Any questions on Zoom?
Okay. Thanks, Ed.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
You wanna stay?
No.
Okay, okay, planning board update. Who's here from planning board?
Nobody. Just me.
You,
Plenty.
anything to report?
I talked to John today, he was gonna be here, he's bagged up. John, you online?
Who are you looking for?
John Aker.
John Aker.
No.
Planning board, they've got, I believe it was 3 new homes, that have come in, with permits. There's about 28 outstanding things, that's including homes and, decks and, sheds, things like that. And, garages, right, Ken?
Sometime.
Yeah. But they're keeping up with it and, you know, it's just taking, the build process is just longer than they used to be. And I think that's something we gotta look at changing our, the building time, our initial build times to 6 months. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and, we should probably be looking at changing that. I know the planning board is looking at that, and they are looking at, several other changes within the ordinances, and they're working on those, and those will be presented during the, budget committee under the warrants.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that it then?
Yeah, any questions on planning board? Specific.
Okay, no questions, we're gonna go on to rec committee. Anybody here from rec committee wanna handle this?
Yeah, sure.
That's Linda Johansson.
We have a joint meeting with Montauk Revitalization Committee, so they can talk about that, but basically, we did the breakfast sandwiches and we had a profit of $380. And both Revitalization Committee and our committee agreed that we would do it again next year. We would like to change the date until, August, before the kids go back to school, so we have a bigger group. For November, if you wanna do things, check the town recreation and, the website, because there's a lot of things going on, a turkey trot, the Sunday after Thanksgiving and a couple of other things. We've got 3 events coming up in December. The tree lighting is December 1st, which is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and, then we have a kids movie on that Friday. And we're hoping to have the appreciation dinner changed to January instead of having it in December, because there's just so much going on. The kids' movie will be the Christmas Chronicles 2, and we're gonna have a working meeting about those events that are coming up, because we didn't have time to cover it with our joint meeting, so. Our next meeting is, December 11th, and, 4:00 PM right here at the district office. And, that's pretty much it. Yep.
As you heard, we're gonna have, our first budget meeting on the
6.
I got the wrong date here, on the 26th of November. You have any budget issues you wanna get into that thing, you should let us know by then. Okay,
Michelle.
But it will get out to all the departments and,
Okay.
it's part of the process.
Okay? Good, that it then?
Yep.
Okay, commissioners' action items, those of you that have them, go for it.
Put it up on there. Eric, you're the man.
So, this is regarding, I've given, well, if we're looking at commission, action items, I've given Joe some information that I looked into so far. I would consider that still in process.
So what did you come up with, anything? Did you come up with anything? I gave you some paperwork, and I'll give it to Bob.
Wait a second, what do you want? I didn't hear you.
The first item,
Could you scroll up, down there, yeah.
Oh, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah. Okay.
the one about the credit card, that's done. I actually need to,
Like,
We're on, okay, first item is from October 10th, information regarding Skiway Terrace.
yep,
Okay.
I gave him a number, a little packet. And
like, when we get to, yeah, go ahead, you can do that now. Yeah.
No, it's okay if you wanna get to it at the Eastern State
No,
overview.
yeah,
I don't know how far you wanna get into it, I've got basically a summary of what I've found out so far, but I can't say I'm completely done because it's been harder, than expected to get people at the town to respond to certain things and get me information, but I've talked to state police, town police, some people at the town hall, then got onto the state websites and just started doing diligence on what the situation at skiway most likely is. I've got a summary right here, for time's sake, I don't know if we wanna go over it all.
Did you exchange that summary
I
with these
gave,
folks?
I gave it to Joe, I don't know if there's.
Yeah, I'll review that, but, I mean, I've gone through the town here, this is from the chief of the chief of police, and
I
our
think-
road agent, right?
okay, the thing is right now, what we have done is turn this over to our attorney. So you're saying we can't use it, we think we can use it, so
I'm
this
not
is
saying
something.
that, that's not what I said, Bob. I said it's a private road for landowners only, it's not a public road, that's all I'm saying. I don't want public events held on that road, that's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I think,
we're a public district, and, we will have public events, and we're gonna have to use that road. And,
That's, the bottom line is, it's a private road for landowners, it's not for public events, I don't
we
know.
own land up there.
You can own all land you want, you can go up in there, landowners can go up in there, that's not what I'm saying, you're missing the whole point.
Okay, as Bob said, we've turned this over to
It's the
our legal,
attorney's got it.
just to have her work out what we need to do here to get this straightened out, so we
Yep.
don't have he said, she said, you said, I said, going on and having an agreement made of her. And she's probably gonna involve the town administrator and probably the road agent in this, in addition to yourselves and us, so, bear with us on that one. We don't see any events coming up for the near future.
Okay,
that
well,
way.
right, the bottom line is that we turned it over to the lawyer, and, if we're gonna run an event, we know that we have every right to it, and, you would have to, put something together to stop that. And that's the way, that's why.
It's not a private road, Bob, I'm telling you it's a private road, I'm telling you it's a private road, what road?
Okay, and,
Hold on
all
here,
right,
the town
it's-
says it's a private road.
well, what I think the confusion about the wording is that it's privately maintained as a road, but it's still a public way.
It's not a public way, you're wrong, it's
Well,
a private road.
Okay,
That is
okay,
why
the thing is,
summary of
it's,
everything I've
yeah.
provided.
Okay, you have that, you got the information you sent, you shared that, okay, our
Yeah.
lawyers will take over on this, and hopefully there'll be some resolution in the near future. Okay, thanks, Joe. Okay, next thing on, the,
Yeah, I'm done with the credit card.
Credit cards is done?
Yeah, we got that.
okay,
The enforcing and parking, that can be tabled till next summer, but we did a pretty good job of regulating parking at beaches this year anyway.
VLAP report won't be available till early January, most likely, VLAP, or when the state gets us to us, usually it's in January.
The one, I posted that other thing online, so that one's done. The water service line.
which one?
Number 7 is done. And number 9 for me is, except for some backlog on rec, planning board and water, I posted all the commissioners' meetings to date.
Yep.
A number of the rec, a number of the water, almost none of the planning board,
Okay,
but just this week a lot got updated.
okay, thank you, appreciate that. You have anything up there, Bob? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay, old business, district property sales, who wants to handle that one?
Steve?
Yeah, go.
I, we've got, couple, the one on Lakeside, I'm gonna let Eric talk about that, but the, other 3 properties that we've got were to abutters, and we came into the same thing when I had the, and I just got the information back this week. The property that we were looking to sell on Kearsarge Drive, that is designated the same as the one was on Lakeside, it's designated as a beach. So we're looking into that to see what's gonna happen with that, because I talked with the guy that was looking to buy it, he's really interested in purchasing it, and he's looking for it for a buffer zone, that's it. Because it's most likely an unbuildable lot, so, and the other 2, we are moving forward with, again, we just got the title searches back, so we're moving forward with those other 2. So if you wanna pick up on Lakeside.
Yeah, So Lakeside's gonna be the same problem as always with the beach designation. I talked to the auctioneer's attorney again today. He still wants to advise that if we do sell, we have some kind of disclaimers stating that there's potentially a beach right, access. So I think the last point to do now is just to put our attorney and that attorney in one final communication to shore it up. Cause I think we feel like we've kind of proven that we can sell it. But there's still been a little bit of legal pushback from J&J's attorney, so I think it's just best to have the two attorneys hash out the final remaining details and get this thing sold.
I think we gotta go through the emails from, because I thought that was all resolved, and I thought that what Christine put together with that last thing, it pretty much states what this, and that was filed with the, Grafton County, and, so I thought we were all set.
Okay.
But we can go through that and check it, and,
Yeah, we'll get them,
hopefully get it
get
done.
all the communication tightened up on that and just.
Now, just to be clear on my end here, J&J is looking to represent the property, or is actually looking to buy the
No,
property?
they're gonna auction it.
Auction, okay, so they're gonna be involved. Okay, fine. Okay, anything else on property sales? Okay, Eastern Cup race overview. You wanna do that? You want Dave to do that? What do you wanna do?
I think the only information that needs to be presented right now about that, if I can go back to my emails.
I'm gonna try and pull that up, I should've had it ready.
Yeah, me too. I got it right here though. So the long and short is, well, we grossed, the numbers we have don't exactly show what we grossed. We grossed over $5,200, and the end net profit for the event, for the bike race weekend, was $2,958. And some supplies, so you could almost call it $3,000 even for the weekend. That's the, we could probably post these numbers somewhere online or something, the spreadsheet of it. But it was a good first, effort.
I think so.
Yeah. That's our budget for the whole year of income at that lodge, so we, surpassed it basically in one weekend. And we have other rentals that make us money too for that.
Eric, I've got that up on the screen.
Yeah.
People on Zoom can see
Yeah.
it.
So, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, I don't need to go line by line, but we got, paid for razors, paid for camps, some food sales, a little bit of apparel, and then we had some expenses, the biggest one being the ambulance and the race tape, which we have a significant amount of race tape left, so some of our costs should go down next year, same with road signs.
They're playing t-shirts.
And playing t-shirts. Had a little problem with that, but, yeah, it was a good event, and, a lot of people had fun, and, we look forward to having more community fun, events, outdoors.
Yeah, I think you just proved the point.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. David, do you have any?
No, nothing else to add, well said.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions up there on Zoom? Okay, no questions. New business, realtors on MLD website. This question came up if realtors want to have, I guess, a block ad or some sort of placement ad on our website, the one run by Mountain Lakes. And, I don't have an issue with it. I think they should probably pay to have access to it, but.
There was always, on the old website, just like a list of
Yeah, right,
generic real estate. I don't know if just Christie or someone from the past just uploaded them on.
Well, it was also before we had web access and internet access to most of the guys. So.
Sure, yeah, so there's a list that's already like kind of pre-existing. I think someone asked to be put on it.
There was a new one that just recently asked
two.
you.
Oh, there's two.
Two? Okay.
So like at this point, I said, well, shouldn't they pay to advertise, like what's for free here, but it's small and.
I think it helps the, realtors help the community, and they help the, move
Sure,
the properties and stuff, so
It's such a small thing that if we just throw names on a list, on a link somewhere in the corner, it's not really a big deal.
So are we saying that, you guys wanna list them for free, at least for the history? unforeseeable future.
I can't imagine anyone actually paying us anyway, so it's either we list it for free or we just don't.
Okay, so you're free.
It's a community service and
Okay, fine.
I'm good with it.
Okay, so it'll be a free service. They wanna be on our website, we'll put it on the
I
website.
think it was already free for the people that were listed before anyway.
Okay? That's done. Website updates, is that also for you? Nothing?
Okay, the website has got some, issues, there's a couple of, sites that don't bring you anywhere. And one of the key things, when you're looking on there, I'm getting better because I know it, because I look at it a lot. But to somebody just going onto that website, it's difficult to get around. Is there a simplistic way? Most websites have a search engine on there, a search like a button where you just put in whatever you want. Is that something in Squarespace that
I can look into it. I tend to disagree that it's hard to get around. It's,
because you built it and you know it and you
Sure.
understand it, but somebody, anybody out there use the website?
I would agree, same thing. Sometimes you don't know where to look for what you're looking for, that's all.
well, yeah.
Yeah, but a little search would be great. Little search.
Yeah, I'll see if there's a search thing. It's just, we have a lot of different departments, a lot of different, there's building codes, there's board of commissioners,
Well, if they would
there's a
enter,
lot of ways to search for things.
they would enter a new house,
Yeah,
would pop up under building, that's
well,
all.
that's building info.
Whatever, I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you're not dealing with a bunch of millennials out here, you're dealing with people that
Yeah, I'll
also.
look and see if there's a search option, I just don't know how much,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, consider it done then, right?
What's a millennial?
Not me.
There you go, perfect, I made my point.
Shut up, boomer.
Is that it then? No
Alright,
other-
so we're gonna look at it, and, I would encourage anybody, if you've got some feedback on the website, send it to the office, so that we can, make sure that it's, serving the, community well.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
So while we're talking about all the things that were the web, and I find one of the most difficult things is getting information on the meetings in a timely manner. It's really, really hard to get something the day of, the day before, and it's not right. And I have to call or go into the office. Everybody's always helpful and we get through it. But it would be much better if we could get this information out to us in a timely manner with that agenda. And I'd like to see the financials be a part of that as well, so that we out here in Zoom have some way of reviewing financials. Is that possible?
I'm sure it is. We'll put together a list of things for Susan to do. And you.
It's just, it would be nice to have this, at least 4 or 5 days in advance of the meeting, if that's possible, to give us all time to be able to look it over and be able to massage things and be able to come up with intelligent questions.
Okay, thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I second that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, no other meetings, no other questions. I'm gonna move to adjourn the meeting. It is 6:55 PM. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
all.
folks.
Close up Zoom here.
Okay.
I thought I paused that.
Well, she's right around
I
the corner
just-
from me. I can certainly.
I just put leave the meeting,
Oh,
just
okay.
put end meeting,
Okay, we'll do that.
end the meeting.
End the
That's the
meeting.
maintenance guy, meet me at 9.
See that?
Are you coming?
End meeting